Election 2016 still buzzing over possible payback at the Republican convention, but more than that, there are expectations about what Donald Trump will say when he accepts the party's nomination for president tonight in Cleveland.
This is new video of Trump doing a walkthrough on the stage where he'll deliver the biggest speech of his life. Trump is brushing off the lack of an endorsement from a defeated rival in the primaries. News 4 Jack's political reporter Kent Justice joins us live with local reaction to Ted Cruz's Vote Your Conscience comment last night. Kent.
Ago, I spoke with someone part of the Florida delegation who is a key contributor to the Ted Cruz campaign nationally, not just in the Sunshine State. He told me that it was not a coordinated effort between Cruz and Trump last night to try and drum up ratings for tonight. But he also said he thinks that it is an opportunity for Donald Trump to make hay with the comments that Ted Cruz didn't make last evening. And I'll tell you what, some of the Florida delegates, they were upset last night about it, and they're still steaming today.
And vote your conscience.
We realized towards the end of the speech he was not going to endorse Donald Trump. So I started chanting down on the floor, Trump, endorse Trump, Trump.
So the party needs to unify. Everybody needs to support Donald Trump, and we need to have a big win in November.
All day Thursday, Republican delegates sounded off following the non-endorsement by Ted Cruz Wednesday night. Governor Rick Scott mostly evaded the issue when pressed by reporters at the Florida delegation breakfast.
This is the time for everybody to come together. By the way, I had a great it was great to be able to give a speech. I'd never gotten to do this before at the convention, as you know.
The Florida delegation called it petty payback from Cruz after he lost the nomination to Donald Trump.
Even though we weren't sure if he was going to endorse, when he failed to endorse, the whole convention booed him because people felt like it was bad sportsmanship.
Somebody else I talked to said that's just sour grapes by Ted Cruz. But isn't it his right to say what he thinks?
It's his right, but this was Trump's moment. It wasn't Ted Cruz's moment. This is about the American people. It's not about Ted Cruz.
Henry Allen says he lost his voice because he was leading the chants of Trump instead of booing, but he and Bill Korak from St. Johns County were upset by Senator Cruz.
We really felt that the Republican Party, the unity is there. One thing he did last night, I really felt that he unified the party even more by not endorsing Trump.
We want to unify the party. We want to have maximum voter turnout. So it causes me a little anxiety, but we'll deal with it.
And Mary, my contacts are telling me that a couple of hours before the evening events last night, someone who used to work in Cruz's campaign, works for the Trump campaign now, that person called Cruz's folks and said, hey, can't we have an endorsement tonight? When they were told by the Cruz campaign an endorsement isn't coming, that's when apparently the Trump folks made sure that they coordinated their effort to boo Cruz or to shout Trump or into some way distract from that. And of course, Donald Trump came into Quicken Loans Arena at just the right time to take away from what Senator Cruz was saying. Now, for his part, Cruz says that he is not in the habit of endorsing someone who attacks his wife or his father. And, you know, Cruz got a standing ovation when he walked in and started, and then got booed off the stage. Live in Cleveland, Kent Justice, Channel 4, the local station.
A lot of drama, Kent. You know, there's always the party away from the party that we see on TV in the arena. What are delegates doing when they're out and about on their own in Cleveland?
Well, here's a great example. It's the final day, and so maybe they saved the best for last from the Republican Party of Florida, but they have a sponsor who brought them here to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's just Florida delegates inside right now. They rented out the whole Hall of Fame museum for 2 hours, 2.5 hours really, and said, hey, activists, party members, this is for you. We appreciate you. These are the kind of events that the Florida delegates have been seeing here in Cleveland, Ohio, Mary.
Oh, I'm sure they're having fun there. That sounds like a good one. Kent Justice reporting to us live from Cleveland. Thank you, Kent.